Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're playing the Shroud of Comfort. I don't know if it actually has the article there, it's just Shroud of Comfort. Now, I'm not entirely sure I'm going to get away with describing why I went with this particular thumbnail, but certainly when I was thinking of comfort, I was thinking of a nice, warm, cozy room, lovely, cozy blanket that is essentially a shroud of comfort. And kind of beautiful scenery in the background with the night sky visible, dimly light room, and you can kind of make what you will of the colors, red and gold, and the phoenix on there. And of course it's young Sleuth in the picture there because, but still not giving up his signature hat. So what do I want to say about this puzzle before I put it up? So it is rated at a 1-star difficulty, but it is a rule set that we haven't necessarily featured before. I'm not saying it's a new rule set, by the way. It is a fairly common one, but not one we've featured before. So I am going to be a little bit rusty on this, but fingers crossed I'm not going to make a complete hash of it. Let's take a look at today's puzzle. So, Shroud of Comfort by Flinty, and the following set of rules. Really, there is 3 of them. Normal Sudoku rules. So that means place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box, without any repeats. We have fog that's covering this. The fog will clear in the surrounding cells when a correct digit is entered. Oh, there are 2 rules there, pardon me. And cells separated by a black dot are in a 1:2 ratio. So if this cell, for example, was a 2, then all of the surrounding cells will clear up in fog and hopefully reveal more for us so that we can actually make progress. You are all fairly familiar with fog. Trying to do black crop kudos is going to be a bit tricky, but imagine this is not a cross but a dot and it's black. If that was a 2, this cell here that's joining it would have to be in a 1:2 ratio. That could be literally 2 to 1 or 1 or 4 as in 2 to 4. As long as one cell is double the other, you are good to go. Now, here is the rule that I say we haven't necessarily played with before. Friendly cells. So digits in a circle must match that circle's either row, column, or box number. So this cell here, for example, is either row 4 or column 4 or box 5. And because it's a circle, we know that it has to be one of these 2 cells. The other thing that is quite important is that negative constraints apply. All circles are given. I really don't want to say a lot more than this. I'm going to push it. It's just, it really will start to help with the solve almost instantly. So this cell here couldn't be 5 because that's the column, or the row because that's the 4. It could be anything else. So if you feel like cozying up under the Shroud of Comfort, if you want to play this particular puzzle and uncover everything that there is to do about friendly cells, link will be in the description down below as usual for you to play along. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. Now, the reason I was sort of being a little bit cagey is all circles are given. So forget this one here for a second. I'm going to ask you the question of, take a look at the rest of box 5. That's the only thing that doesn't have any cover of fog, and therefore the only thing that we can really analyze. And then the question I want to ask you, where does 5 go? As soon as I put a 5 in here, that requires a circle. And the reason is, it's in box 5. Same here, if I put a 5 in there, well, it's in box 5. It doesn't matter what row or column it is for a second. As soon as I put a 5 in here, it requires a circle because it's in box 5. Now, because all of these cells don't have circles, the only place that you can safely put a 5 in here is there. And we're off and running. Right, circles. So let's think about these because they have black crop dots. They've got a bit more information for us. Now, these are either row 4, column 3, or box 4. So this is 3 or 4. Take a look in here. This is either row 5, column 3, or box 4. I'm not actually going to add the 5 because we know that 5 on a black crop dot is nonsense because, 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. Can't put that under Sudoku rules. 5 times 2 is 10. Can't put that either under normal Sudoku rules. So 5 does not belong in these options. Now, I don't know what these are. All I know is one of them is 6. And then the other one is 2 or 8. And we don't know which it is because, well, we don't have any circles there. Next, what can we say? Because we've got this 3, 4, eliminating that as an option. It is a circle, so it can be a 1 or a 3. Essentially, box 1 or row 3 or column 3. And the answer is it can't be a 3 with a 3, 4 pair looking at it. It is, in fact, a 1. That's a circle. This is almost certainly a 2 because it's not box 6, it's not row 6, it's not column 6. Same is true for 8. This is a 2, therefore this is a 4, this is 3, this is 6, and we're off and racing. I'm kind of tempted to think about this cell for a second. No circle means that is not a 6. Because that is... Hang on, it's either must be either a 1, a box, a 2, a row, or 3, a column. It's not the position in the box. So actually, no, this can be a 6. And get away with it. It can't be a 2 though, because that would be row 2 and that would require a circle. So it's not 1, 2, 3, or 4. For it to be on a black crop key dot, it is either 6 or 8, which would place a 3 or 4. And it's not a 4 because this is column 4. And if it is a 4, that would be a circle. So that's 3, that's 6. Keep going. I'm focusing mainly on the circles, but bear in mind that the negative constraint is actually quite powerful as well. So we'll probably need to use that quite heavily later on to actually make progress with the puzzle. But let's focus on the circles for a second. What can I deduce about this? So this is either column 4 or row 3, which it isn't, or box 2. So this is 2 or 4. This is column 5 or row 3, again it isn't, or box 2. So this is 2 or 5. And I guess we are going to have to start thinking about this negative constraint a bit more. Right. 1 is placed in box 4. See, if I place a 1 in any of these cells, well, it's in column 1, and therefore would need a circle, and there aren't any. 1 isn't in this cell because of classic Sudoku. That's 1. We need, so these are rows 4, 5, 6, and columns. So 1, 2, 3 is not very useful anymore. Neither is the box. We're purely thinking about rows in here. So this 5 is not there. It's not here, because otherwise it would require a circle. It's one of these two cells. 6 we know is in one of these cells now, where I'm fairly sure it can't be inside the circle, because that's column 1, that's row 7, and box 7. In fact, that circle in general is limited to either column 1, row 7, or box 7. It's 1 or 7. 6 can only be one of these now. This is not column 2. It could be a 7. And in fact, it is a 7, because it's either row 7 or box 7. So that's just 7. That's just 1. This is now not 1, 2, or 3, 6. So it has to be 4, 8. Actually, it doesn't matter which one is which. Neither of them is... no, that's not true. If I place an 8 in here, I would require a circle, because this is row 8. So that's the 4, that's the 8. Right. See, the negative constraint, I always find, really makes you work a lot harder to think about options. Spotting kind of the applicability of a negative constraint can actually be quite tough. So this is 6, this is 5, this is 4. So I think I've basically used all the negative constraints in this box, I'm going to say, haven't I? Because I've placed, this box is either columns 1, 2, or 3, or box 4, or rows 4, 5, or 6. So basically 7, 8, and 9 can go anywhere in here without any challenges. Yep. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. I'm just going to leave the corner 5s. This is a corner 5. The 5 will have to be in a circle because it's in row 5, wherever we place it in here. Maybe this black crop dot is what's next. What is this cell? It is not 1. It could be 2. It's not 3, 4, 6, or 8. It is in fact a 2. That can't be a 4. That's a 1. What is this? Well, it's not 1. What else is it? Let's think. 3 joins the 3, 6 on this side. These two have to be 5 and 9, which gives me my 5 in here. It also tells me that this is not a 9. This is 7 or 8, and in fact this is 7 or 8 as well. And these are 7, 8, 9 with a definite 9. These 3 cells, I know what they are, or at least I can pencil mark them. They are 3, 5, or 9, I'm going to say. That is not a 3. That can't be a 3 either, because that's row 3 and would require a circle, so the only place for 3 is up here. These are all unfriendly cells, if such a sentence can be said. And what are we missing? We're missing 2, 4, and a 7, 8. And that's kind of helpful. So it's 2, 4, 7, 8 with a definite 2, 4. That's not a 2. Otherwise it would require a circle because it's in row 2. I think all the rest is fine, isn't it? I really wanted to eliminate the 7, 8 in here, so we end up with a 2, 4 pair, but I'm not seeing how I would be able to at this stage. Right, black crop out, we haven't really talked about it. And this is not a 1. It can be a 2. It can be a 3. It can be a 4. It can be a 6. The only thing that it can't be is an 8. Is it? No, it can be. No, it is box 8. So it can't be an 8, otherwise it would require a circle. But everything else seems fine because it's column 5, row 7, box 8. So these are the only 3 prohibited digits, plus anything obviously that can't go in a black crop dot. Not great. Not great at all. Gonna have to think more about other constraints. Am I just missing the significance of these at all? Column 4, box 2, column 5, box 2, and obviously not row 3. Yeah, the challenge is, because I don't know what these are, I can't even say that there's a definite 2 in here. If there is a circle somewhere in these 3, then I could still tuck the 2 anywhere else. So I think that's maybe something that's worthwhile thinking about for a second. Wherever the boxes are fully exposed, we know that the box number has to be inside a circle. So we've taken care of the 1 in here, the 4, the 5, the 7, the 8 we can't really yet. We know it's none of these cells. So not 8 with classic Sudoku, not either of these, because wherever we place it, it has to be in a circle. So you know 8 is in one of these 2 cells, and certainly it's fine being here with a 4. So not exactly the revelation. The 3 will definitely be in a circle in here. Maybe a bit of classic Sudoku to see what's going on, because I admit I'm sort of stuck. 1s. But I'm not really getting a lot of information from classic Sudoku either. So maybe it's probably worthwhile like pencil marking some of these columns and using the negative constraint. My fear is it's going to be like a ton of digits. Well, we're committed. It's not 1, it's not 2 because it's not a circle, it's not 3, can be a 4, it's not a 5, it could be 6, 7, 8, or 9. It can't be a 4 because it's column 4. So that's a high digit. This cell here is not a 1. It can be a 2. It's not a 3. It can be a 4. It's not a 5. It's not a 6. It's 7, 8, or 9. This is a terrible idea. It's not 2. I mean, it can be 2. It's not 3. It can be 4. It's not 5. It can't be 6 because it's row 6. It's not 4. There aren't. Hang on. I'm not thinking. Column 4, the 4 has to be inside a circle. This is the only place where it can be. Yeah, I wasn't thinking. Sorry about that. And I think the same is true for column 5. The 5 has to be inside a circle. That's the 5. Sleuth. Right, I'm going to lose these for a second. Right, let's think about what this cell is. It is not 1. It's in a circle, so it can be a 2. And this would be a 1. We know that the 2 is in one of these two cells, because remember, in box 2, it has to be inside a circle. We just don't know what this is yet. It's not 3, 4. It could be, it's not 6, because that would require a 3. And it's not 8, because that would require a 4. So that's 2, that's 1. Right. For it to be a circle, it's either row 1, which it isn't, column 6, which it is, or box 2, which it isn't. So that's a 6. That's not 6. These are 7, 8, 9s. That's a lot better than the madness I was kind of embarking on earlier. That 2 removes a 2 from here. That's another 7, 8. Look now, where's the 2 and 4? Well, that has to be the 2. That has to be the 4. That is progress. These cells, that can't be the 3. The 3 has to be inside a circle, which this one wasn't. So this is, that 5 actually gave me the 9 and 5, and I just readily ignored it. So what do we have left? I have a second 7, 8, and a 6. So this is 6, 7, or 8. And it's not a 7 because that's column 7, and it's not a circle. Up here, I've got a 7, 8, 9 triplet. I can actually just pencil mark all of these. This is 1, 4, 9. Well, the only place that can be a circle in here is 1 because it's column 7, row 1, and box 3. So that's a 1. These are not 1s. Neither is a circle, so it doesn't really matter. Then we have 2 from 7, 8, and 9. So how did I write 9? It's not a 9. I'm missing something else. 5. We need a second 2, 7, 8, 9s just to complete this triplet, plus a 7. 7 can't be in here because that would require a circle. 7 is in one of these two cells. So I want to use the same trick we used earlier with the columns, but now with rows. So row 1 is done. 2, wherever the 2 goes, it has to be in a circle. Why did I write the 7 here? I need a 7, 8, 9. I need 2 of them and a 2. The only place where the 2 is, it has to be a circle because it's row 2. The only place where the 2 is hidden or the circle isn't visible is in here. Then we're back to 7, 8, 9. And this can't be a 7, we said, because it's column 7. Now, the 3 is obvious. It can only be in here. The 4 is done. The 5 we've already said will be in a circle in here. The 6 has to be in a circle in there, meaning the 6 is only in this, in row 4, given a setup here, has to be in one of these two cells and it's not there. That's a 6. 7 is done. 8, we don't know, and 9, we don't know. Right, let's keep this going. So, for it to be in a circle, it's either column 7, which it could be, row 4, which it can't be, or box 6, which it can't be. That's a 7. That removes the 5 from here. That could still be a 5. Let's think about what this is. It's not column 7. It could be row 5, or it could be box 6, which it isn't. It is, in fact, a 5. Neither of these are a 6 because the 6 has to be inside a circle. That's a 6. That's right, let's keep going. What else do we know? This circle, surely we can do something with. It's either column 9, row 5, or box 6. It is just a 9. So we've sorted out column 7. We haven't sorted out column 8. 8 needs to be inside a circle. 8 is in one of these two cells where it's not here because of classic Sudoku. So that's 8. That removes the 8 from here. That gives me 8. That gives me 4. That's the only digit that can be in the black crocky dot. This now is either column 8, row 9, or box 9. It is in fact a 9. This is not the 1. That's the 1. And we've almost fully revered the fog. It would be nice to be able to place a digit around here somewhere just to fully reveal it, but I think we basically know where all the circles are and we can make some pretty solid progress. We said one of these has to be a 9. Well, it's not this cell, that's the 9. That's not a 9, that's another 7, 8. That's another 7, 8. The only place for a 1 now in row 4 is in here. We still need a 3, that can't be there. That's the 3, that's an 8. This is 6, 7, 8, or 9. Well, this is a 7 because we've got 8 and 9 looking at it. That removes a 7 from here. That's an 8, 9 pair. This is 6, 7, or 8 just to complete the row. It is in fact 6 or 8 because of this 7. That gives me a 7 in here, an 8 in there. These are 7 9s. That's an 8. That's a 9. I haven't resolved this 4, 5. That's fine. And these 7 8s. Yep, that's resolved. That's 7. That's 8. That is 5. That's 9. The 3 6s are not resolved yet. And these 7 9s are not resolved yet. 6 8s are resolved with this 8. So that's a good way to just tidy up everything as we sort of kind of near completion at this point. It looks like we're going to be able to solve this. So these I'm going to say are from 2, 3, or 4. And given they are columns 7 or 8, or rows 5 or 6, or box 6, I basically have no real restrictions here. I need a second, oh well, hang on, that's not a 3. One of these is a 3. I need a second 2, 4, a 1, which can only be in here because of classic Sudoku. Second 2, 4, and a 7. So this is 2 or 7. This is 4 or 7 with a definite 7. That can't be a 4 as well because of the friendly. But the friendly is not helping me any further. Sorry, because it's unfriendly. I need a second 2, 4 again. Plus 2 more digits. It is an 8 and a 9. The 8 line up. That's an 8. So now I'm left with either 2 9 or 4 9. Again, columns 5, row 6, box 5. The unfriendliness is not helping. Just thinking about this column, we need a second 2, 7, 9 plus a 3. And I'm not seeing the restriction. We did use this trick earlier of, right, column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's sorted. Row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then boxes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've kind of done the easy things, is what I'm thinking. There isn't really anything obvious, but just classic Sudoku, that's a 5. This is 4, 7, or 9. It's not a 9. This is 4 or 7. That gives me a 9. That gives me a 2. These are not 2. This is a 3, 4 pair. That's the 2. That's the 7. That's the 4. That's the 7. The 7 in here clears up the 9. The 7. This 3, 4 is not helping here. This is 3 or 5. It's not a 4. Let's think about these two. They need to be either 2 or 6. I'm not seeing anything to disambiguate them. It's column 4, row 7 and beyond, and box 8 or beyond, so not exactly helpful. Here would be a 3 with a 9. That's the 9. That's the 3. That gives me my 6 and 3. Doesn't help me with my 2, 6. Yes, it does. 2, 6. Right, we can just place this digit. It is a 4, which gives me 3, 4, 5, 4, 3. These are 7, which can only be in there, and 6. And then lastly, to finish up, a 2, and if I've not made any mistakes, a 5 for the solution for today's puzzle. What a lovely puzzle, Flinty. Always phenomenal constructions from you. And I know that you've got a few more friendly cells-based puzzles out there, so if you guys enjoyed it, do let me know in the comments below, and we can feature a bit more of this variant. And I love the negative constraint. It just really, really pushes kind of the solution forward. Hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video. And I don't think we've got any more friendly puzzles, but maybe have a look at what are some of the other fog puzzles that we've got on the channel. Bye-bye for now.